Welcome back to Big Easy Garage. This episode is going to be focusing on taking the bed off, cleaning the frame rails, putting in a new fuel pump, and a sitting unit. Let's check it out. We've already cleaned it out, so let's get this bed off. We got the tailgate off just to lighten the load a little bit. We're going to knock out these taillight lenses and this corner trim. The goal is to get the wiring harness disconnected and detached from the bed. And then we're going to take these off just because they're already damaged and we're going to delete on them anyway. And then once we unbolt the box, there's 8 bolts in the box. Once we unbolt it, we're going to try to slide it back just a little bit, tilt it down, stand it up. So let me get some tools and we'll knock these out real quick. I got 2 tail light lenses, 2 harnesses, and 2 bumper trims or bed trims, but let's knock those out. All right, we got the tail light lens out. We also got the back reflective plate taken out, 4 screws. Take the lens off, 4 screws, take the back reflective plate off. You have a twist lock on the light bulbs, and then you have a little tab down here that, see if I can get you in there and show you. There's a tab here that you lift up, and that attaches your wires, or it's attached to the wires. There you go. So push that in, and then there's a ground right there that we need to take off. Other side, pretty similar. There's no ground on this side. You can tell there may have been at one point because there's a spot for one, but it wasn't there. So just lift that up. And now that can all go tucked in there. All right, on to underneath the truck. Let's get this thing off. We got updates. I have thrown everything that I know at the moment at this bed, and I'm having terrible difficulties. Of course, the bolts haven't been removed in 40 years. And so it's got blue Loctite, looks like from the factory, and then it's got just 40 years of hermetically sealed rust. I've gotten 2 bolts out pretty good. 1 bolt, check this out. It just started ripping the bed, just spinning in there, made a circle, and then when I tried to chisel it out, it ripped the top of the bed, so I'm gonna stop there. The other one, the 4th bolt on the back side, the nuts rounded off on it. I've tried everything I can. I don't have a wrench or a liquid wrench. I don't have a gas axe, so I don't really know what to do there. I'm out of cutoff wheels. I've got 1 blade on a Sawzall that's not bent. I don't know. I'll be back with some more. Hold tight. It took some ingenuity, but we got them all out. The bed's now loose. We're going to come back tomorrow and go ahead and get the wiring harness disconnected and the filler neck, and then we're going to lift the bed off. But I know it doesn't look great. We had to, some of them kind of ripped the bed frame. I'll show you up here. What we had to do is take a grinder and just cut the head square and beat it through. Yeah, I know it looks pretty bad, but I mean, come on guys, have you seen the rest of the truck? You know, it'll be a good daily driver. And plus we're going to put a spray and bed liner in it at some point when we get all this done. Probably get a paint job on it, but put a nice spray and bed liner. You know, go back and weld up those areas, put new bolts in, hardware, that sort of thing. But like I said, have you seen the rest of the truck? All right, guys, we'll catch you tomorrow. We'll be getting this bed off, and then we'll take an assessment of the fuel tank and rails and see what all that looks like, and then go from there. Stay tuned. We'll catch you guys in the morning. Time to get the day started. Let's get this bed off. Nothing here at Big Easy Garage goes without a struggle. Check this out. We have no lift, obviously, but we got the bed. It's coming off. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it on some dollies so I can get it up out of the way. But looking at the frame, it's actually really good. It's dirty. There's a lot of mud and just surface rust, that sort of thing. But looking pretty good. We're now going to be able to get to it, clean it up, change out the shocks eventually, and get to that fuel system. So we're getting there. Stay tuned for some more. Well, there you have it. The bed's off. The shocks are wrecked. But we got it secured up over there. Now it's time that we can take a look at our frame rails, which look really good. We're going to clean these things up, give them a fresh coat of paint, slick them up. We get access to our fuel tank. We can now clean the top of it, disconnect what lines we need to, go through what lines need to get rid of, replace, and we can change out the sending unit, clean up the filler neck, because I can see it's pretty bad right now. Our wiring harness for the truck bed, it's right here, and I noticed somebody had disconnected ours sometime in the future, so we'll have to clean that up. And pulling the bed off, I had to snip out the old drain tube or the vent tube on the rear diff. We'll have to clean that up too. But all in all, I'm pretty pleased with it. I appreciate the help of my dad. He did a lot of help with me on this. It's definitely not a one-person job, but everything else looks pretty good, and I'm pleased with it. So the next time you see us, we'll be cleaning a lot of this up, trying to make it new again. We need to change out these shocks because they're pretty nasty. But all in all, pleased. Been a good day, productive, and I gained a lot more room in the shop. So, but it'll give us access to a lot more, and that's what it's all about. So we're moving quickly on this project, getting more and more things going on. In the next, I'd say probably a month and a half to 2 months, you're going to see a lot happen with the front end, the engine, the rear, the bed, all that. So just hang out with us, and you're going to catch us cleaning this thing up and start working on the fuel system. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to work on the truck a little bit more. I just got off of my day job, and I'm running on fumes. Mentioning fumes, we're going to work on the gas tank a little bit, see if we can't get the filler neck off, and drain the tank, see what's in there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I need some gas from a generator, and I need to drain the tank anyway and clean it up. So that's what we're going to work on. Let me set you guys up. Let me get some tools. All right, day 2, we're going to try this again. I just got off of work. Last night was a bust. Long story short, couldn't find enough fluid or fuel in the gas tank. Once we pulled the fuel neck off, it just wasn't enough in there to even run the generator. So we're just going to drop the gas tank, and then we'll be able to pull the sending unit out, get that fuel that's in there out, which is just a little bit puddled up around the pickup tube, and then we'll be able to look at, see what kind of damage, what kind of condition our fuel tank's in. Let me spin you around, show you what's going on. All right, so this is the fuel tank. Should just be 2 straps coming up on the inside. We'll drop those off, and the fuel tank should fall out for the most part. There may be a couple other things, but we'll let you know here shortly. I don't know, we'll look at it. right, we're about to separate the fuel tank from the truck right now. It's just holding on by some wires and some hoses. But first, I wanted to show you what we're working with and what we're going to put back in it. Here is the AMD. Yes, I said AMD, Auto Metal Direct. They sell a version of a sending unit, and it just has a single fuel line and vent. It does not have the return. As you can see, it's just 2 lines. And so we're going to use this in conjunction with a Holley Sniper electronic fuel pump made for carburetors. It's a low pressure. This one says NOS, but you can see the Sniper. But it's the Holley Sniper. It is a low pressure fuel pump that is regulated internally at like 7 PSI. So we're going to use this in conjunction with this and not run a return. And if the 7 PSI for whatever reason is too much, then we'll use a regulator, but we're not required to use a regulator right now or a return line. So we're going to see how this works out. And I think this sending unit is going to be fine. So let's get this fuel tank out of the truck and inspect it, and let's see if we can use our fuel tank. So as you can see, our fuel tank is still kind of connected to the truck. It is actually holding on by some hoses. Well, if you see how nasty the top of this tank is, it's got just debris and junk everywhere. The bottom of this tank is even worse. I do not have high hopes for this tank being any good. The top is rusty, the bottom's rusty, and the reason for most of the rust is the ecosystem growing inside of this black cover. This black cover was what was surrounding the gas tank, and you can see it's just full. But don't worry, there's more. This all came out from underneath our fuel cell. Acorns, leaves, dirt dauber's nest. Is that sandpaper? All right, let's get this thing out and inspect it. I don't have high hopes, but we're gonna look anyway. All right, well, we got the gas tank out and we looked at it, and the outside of it's in really bad shape. The inside of it really doesn't look too terribly bad, but I'm debating whether or not to spend the 20 or 25, 30 bucks to refresh the tank, clean it up, paint it, smooth it out, whatever, or just spend 80 bucks and buy a new tank. Right now, as you guys know, I mean, we're on a budget, so every little bit that we get to save definitely helps out. I mean, that 40 or 50 bucks that we save from not having to buy a new tank and just refurbishing that tank could go to new filler neck hoses, new fuel lines, the rubber lines, hose clamps, different wire, that sort of thing. We're going to have to buy that stuff anyway, so technically we could save a lot of money by doing stuff like that, just refurbing what we got. So we're going to refocus our energy at the moment, and we're going to clean up this frame here just with some wire wheels that we got, some cut brushes, and the grinder. We're going to use a drill and some cut brushes, and we're going to take some of these brackets and old exhaust hangers and that sort of thing off of the truck, just clean it up real good and get it down. Looking at the side of the rail, I mean, there's still a good black coat paint on there from the factory, so it's really not bad. It's just a lot of dirt and debris on top. So let me get in here with this wire brush. I'm going to set you guys up so you can watch a little bit of the process. We're going to start cleaning this up a little bit at a time, get some of these brackets taken off so we can't slick up this frame in the back. Hold tight. And our eye protection, just safety first. started to clean up the frame and paint it. This is what we're using. This is just an H Premium. It's an interior, exterior, paint, primer, satin enamel. It was cheap. It was something I already had on the shelf, and I just wanted to see if we could use a little bit less expensive paint to put on the bed rails that's going to protect it, because we're going to ultimately cover it up anyway. But let me spin you around and show you kind of what the outside is looking like. I ran out of paint, so it's obviously not all done. And I just did a couple of test spots to see what it's going to look like. But let me show you what it looks like. I think it looks all right, especially once we put the bed, new shock, suspension, that sort of thing. You won't ever tell the difference. But let me show you what we got going on. All right, so this is what we got so far. You can see, man, the satin enamel actually is laying pretty nice, pretty smooth. I mean, there's imperfections in the metal, but from the before and after, I mean, that's a big difference. So once we get this whole thing painted up, or cleaned up, painted up, it's gonna look really good. There's that cross member there. Obviously we haven't done the inside of it yet, but that's what we got going on. Let's get some more paint and we'll show you the finished product. All right, as promised, folks, here's the finished product from the back half of the truck. This is us cleaning it up, spraying it with that Ace enamel black. We got the inside of the frame rails, the top of the frame rails, underneath the frame rails, the outside of the frame rails, a lot of the bracketry. Remember, eventually these leaf springs and shocks will be coming out of here, and we'll touch those areas up as we get them out. But man, this stuff looked pretty good, and for like $5 a can, I ain't complaining. I mean, this thing ain't perfect. You guys see the rest of it, but let's get you a little bit further back, get you a better view. But that's it. That's the back half. You can see underneath the truck, but I still got to get to. That's where it started off as. That's what it's looking like. It's getting there, baby. All right, once again, thanks for watching Big Easy Garage. This is going to do it for this episode. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, family, co-workers. We do this for fun and entertainment and to inspire you guys to keep going. But if you don't mind, just like the channel, subscribe to us, like the videos, comment down there, tell us what we're doing right, tell us what we're doing wrong. Anyway, thanks guys. We got another video coming out pretty soon. You guys have a good one. Big Easy Garage.